What's up, guys? Welcome back to another no, this is not GT Sport. This is Assetto Corsa Competizione, and that's me murdering the title of this video game. I say video game, it's actually more of a simulation. So this is Assetto Corsa, or we're going to call it ACC from now on. This is PS4 version, also available on PS5. There's no dedicated version for PS5 and regular PS4 and PS4 Pro. I'm running this on a PS4 Pro, and let's just run you through some thoughts of the game. The background footage here is going to be a lobby race. We just decided to jump into this race. We've got Shadow RLM in here as well. He's got some great live streams which kind of run you through the setup of the game. So check out Shadow RLM's YouTube channel. Got some great live stream coverage of everything you need to know. So this race here we go into is at Silverstone. I'm getting flashbacks to iRacing, racing Silverstone. Really good track to drive. I really enjoyed racing it. Here we are lined up. We've managed to get ourselves second on the grid here, and we're going to fast forward to the race start. So here we go now. Race is about to begin. First thing you'll notice, looking at the way we start this race, it's a manually controlled rolling start. So we're in control of the car. We're advised to keep to a certain distance, and also keeping to the left of the track. We're in full control here. There's no auto drive rolling starts like in GT Sport. This is full control by all of the drivers. So here we are about to go green. Currently second on the grid, but I think we're slightly ahead of the pole sitter. Green flag now, and away we go racing. Car to the right hand side, got to just be careful on turning. Porsche takes a good speed through the first corner. We make it through safely. And also another thing you'll notice with this game, the sound is fantastic. The driving physics are superb. You really are in control of the car. Unlike GT Sport, you basically feel like you're wrestling the car. Every lap time is a battle to get the car safely around the track. Let's just cut back to a replay camera of the start. And another thing you'll probably notice is the lower graphical quality. Certainly in the replay cameras, poor low-res textures on the car. The car's fantastic. I really enjoyed driving the McLaren 720S. But yeah, the graphics just aren't there. They're just not polished. You can see the underlying sim kind of elements to the game. I get flashbacks playing this to essentially running a full PC simulator like iRacing or something like that, but on like low spec hardware. So you've got graphic settings turned down, frame rate's not quite there, as we don't get anywhere near the apex of that corner. Cold tires, cold brakes. But my initial feedback on this game, or initial thoughts on the game, were I was incredibly disappointed. At the time it was a 50% deal. I decided to go for it, get it purchased. Driving it with the steering wheel, I think is pretty important. It's not so good on the controller. But my initial thoughts on the game was this is really bad. The frame rate's terrible. The graphics look bad. I didn't enjoy it. I think I played it in the same kind of gaming session. I played some GT Sport and switched to this, and I was incredibly disappointed. I put the game down for about a week, didn't come back to it, but then decided to pick it up and just give it another shot, concentrating just to play the game or play the sim, take it for what it is. And I think once you understand that the graphics aren't on the same level as GT Sport, and the frame rate isn't on the same level as GT Sport, you can then start to enjoy the game. Completely different driving experience compared to GT Sport. The battle on the track is often with yourself and your car, trying to get the lap times in there, keeping the car under control. When you get to the edge of the capabilities of the car, it'll often end up in a crash, as we get a little bit of a slide through the first turn there, which you often find that you'll have a crash rather than a slide moment like we're in GT Sport. As we've got the third place driver bearing down on us. He's in the Ferrari 458. It's the 488 in ACC. and we are basically going to go racing now. He's going to get a good run out of the last corner here and down the main straight here into this corner here. We try and get on the brakes late as we can. He's sniffing to the inside, so we are definitely under pressure. I think he's got a slightly better exit than we have. Looking to the inside again, he's beat me on the brakes. Car to the left, we've got to give him the space. Still really close by space. Now we're 3 wide, going into this fast right-hander. The Bentley launches it clatters over our windscreen. We about lose the car. Unbelievable stuff here. And let's take a look back at that again. Bentley to the inside, clatters the curb, jumps into the air, catches our car on the windscreen. No idea how we haven't got a smashed windscreen from that one. We gather the car up and then make our way on. Unbelievable stuff. Managed to keep hold of the car. Still have no idea how. But yeah, it's good. We are basically fighting the car. With comparing this to GT Sport again, as we will be doing throughout the whole video, GT Sport is far more forgiving with car-to-car contact. You'll often find a lot of bumping and banging, door-to-door racing in GT Sport. The cars don't get unsettled by that. In this, any kind of contact, as we just saw then, a pretty extreme example of contact, it often results in a spin or a crash or an amount of damage on the car as well. So with this, I think the racing is a lot less door-to-door, but it's a bit more tactical with regard to how you play your car, your positioning, and trying to make the move happen. Now in ACC, the replay function, as we just see an onboard replay of us getting clattered by that Bentley. Now the replay function, it kind of works. It works okay. You can save replays, but you have to kind of save highlights of them. Some of the camera angles you can have in the replays are unbelievably good. We'll show a few of them now. So we've got some superb onboard footage, looking back at your boy driving, going through Maggots and Beckett's, as we can see there. Yeah, so we see the driver inputs exactly replicating the driver inputs I was inputting with my steering wheel. The sway and the motion of the driver, the slight bobble of the camera in the cockpit, the kind of restraint strap there, just holding and moving with the G-forces of the car. Superb. Details like that are unbelievable. And then we have the small graphical glitches and the low texture liveries that it just kind of let it down. So for me, it's getting there. I can imagine ACC on PC would be superb, but let's just focus on PS4 right now. What we need to try and understand is that this is a full simulation of GT racing on a PS4. Now I think that should be commended, because as sim racers, we all want to see more sim racing games. Driving games are already a small fraction of the kind of console gaming market, like the first person shooters like Call of Duty, Fortnite, all of those. That they're a huge chunk of the gaming market. Driving games are a small portion of that. Again, we see it on board now, footage, fantastic footage. I want to see more of this. I want to see these kind of camera views in GT Sport with its highly polished graphics. I want to see improvements throughout all the games to get us, basically video editors, some amazing graphics and viewpoints to be able to put together fantastic videos. But basically, driving games are a small percentage of the gaming market, and simulators are even smaller percentage of that already small percentage of the full market. So I think we need to congratulate the developers of this game, and after putting in a few hours into it, I can really start to enjoy it. I would highly recommend considering a purchase. I consider it that the money that I've spent on the game, even though I may not play it that much, it's going towards developers who are trying to do something in sim racing. They're trying to bring a full simulator title to consoles. So for me, my money going towards that developer is hopefully giving them funding to be able to continue this project. The next version of this game, I can imagine, is going to be a lot better. It can be developed from the ground up for next generation hardware, PS5, Xbox Series, whatever it is. But yeah, the next generation of console hardware is going to have spare processing power to be able to do what this game is lacking on the essentially old generation hardware. So in my opinion, buying this game, supporting the developers that are trying to do something different in the console market, I'm happy to put my money their way, and excited to see what the next version can kind of come with. Skipping forwards now concentrating onto the race as we come through Maggots and Beckett's complex on Silverstone. Great set of corners, approaching with a huge amount of speed and just downshifting per each turn. In the rear view mirror, the Ferrari is again and again, I think he had an off sometime earlier in the race, and he's coming back at us. I've kept myself narrow, forced him to the outside. You'll see on the radar on screen, really quite useful thing. He's gone to the outside, he's gone deep. We're trying to keep it narrow, and we are accelerating out the corner. Just saw him appear there. I think he's got the move done. Can we do anything for a cutback? I don't think so. It's not the kind of game where you can just throw your car back up the inside. Just getting around the lap times, you are basically on the verge of out of control. As we're just going to skip to a replay camera, we can watch that action back again. The green Ferrari to the outside. Good move by the guy here. He must have a bit of confidence in that car. As you can see there, just graphical glitches. There's a car there in the replay that's frozen. The brake discs on this Ferrari are permanently red hot. It's just slightly disappointing. But let's just gloss over that. Let's take it for what it is. It's a fantastic sim racing title. If you're focused on just doing laps, setup work, racing, I think it's got a lot of potential. Unlike the GT Sport fixed setup races, with GT Sport you turn it on, you run some laps and you go racing. With ACC, I think it's a bit more of a thinking driver's game. You've got to practice. You can't just turn up and play. You have to really kind of think about what you want to do for setups. I mean, I was just using the baseline setup here. I mean, it was okay, but I know that setup improvements can be made. I can be faster with either a little bit more steering from the car, a little less aero, brake balance change, traction control change. There is so much you can do in the game, and it's quite refreshing to see so much available. Basically, every time you get in the car, no matter what you're doing, you're driving it. When you're in the pit lane, you're driving the car. When you're doing the rolling start, you're driving the car. After the race is finished, you're still in control of the car. You get to drive the car back to the pits if you want, or you can park it up and get out the car that way. The detail in the game is unbelievable. You can have everything set to be automatic, so automatic car starter, lights, wipers. The game also has dynamic day, night cycles, dynamic weather, all pretty crazy stuff, and it actually looks quite good. So yeah, if you wanted to be, you can be in 100% control of your car. You can set your button ignition to be manual, so you can set the button on your steering wheel for that. Wipers, lights, all those things can be assigned. If you look through the options list, there's so much you can assign. Check out once again Shadow RLM. I'll try and link his channel in the description below. He's done some good live streams of PS4 ACC, which will give you a kind of an introduction and overview of the menu system, and you can see how you think it's how it's going to suit you. So to summarise and to kind of bring this to a conclusion, if you've been watching some of the Team Rock iRacing endurance series or any iRacing content, and you're keen to kind of get more into the simulator kind of driving sim, aspect of gaming or racing, and you've not got the PC hardware, but you have got a steering wheel, and you're coming from Gran Turismo Sport, I'd consider looking at ACC. You've got to make sure that you understand the graphics will not be as good as GT Sport. The frame rate is not going to be as good as GT Sport, and certainly if you're on an original PS4, I'm not sure how it would run on that. With PS4 Pro, once you kind of get your eyes adjusted to it, it runs okay. As you can see in the video here, it runs okay. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you play ACC on PC? Do you play ACC on PS4 or even Xbox? And if you play GT Sport as well, let me know what you think in the comments below.